Spent a couple of minutes with Neil McEvoy. He is the assistant general manager with the BC Lions here at the Canadian Bowl in 2012. Neil, welcome to the Canadian Bowl.
Thank you very much. Very excited to be here.
It's nice to have you here. Another good, successful season for the Lions. Do you get that sensation of the excitement going into this year, and at this standpoint, last year or this year compared to last year?
Well, I mean, I think our team has worked really hard. We brought in a lot of good young players, and we've built our team for the future. And right now, we're just reaping the benefits of the hard work we've done the last 4 or 5 years.
Speaking of young guys, Andrew Harris, a young guy that people in the CJFL certainly know. He set all sorts of records in the BCFC with the Vancouver Island Raiders. Are you looking more at junior players now because of his ability and skill?
Well, what we do is we do our due diligence and look at every junior football team in the province of British Columbia, and if it turns out that there's an athlete that we want to look at, we will certainly bring that player in and give him a look to see if he's going to be the next Andrew Harris. Andrew Harris is a phenomenal football player. You know what? There's a lot of guys aren't going to be able to step up and play like he has, but you know what? We're always going to look for that next guy, and hopefully the next guy can do it.
Are other CFL teams doing that? Do you know in their home provinces?
Yeah, do you know what? It depends on in the West there really are. In Calgary, in Edmonton, in Saskatchewan, and in obviously Vancouver and BC. You know what? The teams do it, but you have to put the impact on what the BC or the junior teams are doing themselves. If they bring in really good athletes, the professional team's going to reap the benefits as well, and that's what's happened with us. The BC Junior Football League's brought in some really good players. They've produced some really good football teams that can compete throughout the nation, and we've reaped those benefits, and the Saskatchewan Rough Riders have done the same, and Edmonton and Calgary. So I mean, the Western teams have really done a lot. There's not as many junior teams in the East, but in the West, we've certainly been very happy with what we've produced.
A couple of junior football players maybe becoming the next Andrew Harris, Stephen Doege and Bobby Davis, both from the Okanagan Sun franchise. Do you know much about them? Have you seen much about them, and how's their progress?
Yeah, we've had Stephen with us actually since training camp.
Yeah.
He was almost like an Andrew Harris clone on the defensive line. What we do is we don't tell the other players that these are junior football players. All they know is that these guys are coming in to compete for a job, and so when Stephen Doege steps on the field and they don't know the difference between the Okanagan Sun and San Francisco College or Boise State, that to me tells me what type of athlete he is, and that's what Stephen's done. Andrew was the same way. When they came to training camp, they looked like professional athletes, and so far they've worked their way in.
Why do you do that? Why do you not tell anybody where they're from?
Well, like I say, I don't want anyone to give these guys, this is at the end of the day professional football. This isn't amateur football. This is professional football, and guys have to come and try to make a living. And to say that, these are professional, these are junior football players, leave them alone, don't hit them as hard, would not be an advantage to them. So I try to, throw them to the dogs a little bit and see what they can do. And like I say, guys like Stephen Doege, guys like Andrew Harris, and to the point, guys like Bobby Davis has really stepped up and competed hard. And the guys in our team think of them as teammates, not just junior football players.
You show us that Grey Cup ring.
2011, hopefully another one in 2012.
Yeah, very shiny. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
Neil McEvoy, he is the assistant general manager with the BC Lions, joining us. Thanks for watching.